It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Everybody alright? It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Hey, you better hold on tight. It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. K.O. I think they're ready. You tuned into what you tuned into. It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Everybody alright? It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Hey, you better hold on tight. It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. K.O. I think they're ready. You tuned into what you tuned into.
Now give me my theme music.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me? Welcome to another episode of Off the Record. I'm your host, Kevin Young. And look, it's still DJ month, so we got DJ Scott Haynes coming on here. Can you hear me okay, DJ Scott Haynes? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, good. Yeah, so we got DJ Scott Haynes in the house. You know, very, very good DJ. Heard a lot of stuff about him. Like I said, it's DJ month, so of course I pick and choose who I want to come on the show. People call and want to come on the show, and it works that way too. I don't mind people calling and want to be on the show. But I like to pick and choose the people that I like to come on the show. And he was one of the ones that I actually wanted to come on here because he has an interesting story, you know. Good guy. Once I talk to you on the phone, I can pretty much tell, you know, a lot about you just by your conversation. Real good guy. I think he's an honest guy. And I think you guys need to be on here. Y'all need to share this live. Now, are you able to share it, DJ Haynes? Were you able to share it to your people? Thumbs up? Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, y'all share this live. Y'all come on. Y'all have any questions, just put them in the feed line. And if I miss your questions, you know, charge it to my head, not my heart, because so many questions go so fast that I can't see them, you know. So, but I definitely want y'all to pick his brain and stuff. He's a very smart guy. You know, he probably just got off work. You know, he's a working guy, full-time, a working guy. He works hard. That's what he say, but I don't believe him. But he say he works hard. So, look, without further ado, I'm going to bring him on here. Mr. DJ Steve Haynes. Here he is. What's going on, young man?
Hey, Kevin. How are you?
Doing great, man. Yeah. So how was your day today?
It was good. I worked up through part of Nashville, West Nashville, over to Dixon, Tennessee, and ended up in Clarksville, Tennessee tonight.
Oh, okay. So how far a drive is that for you?
Oh, well, I when I leave Monday, I'll drive to wherever I stop and then pick up the next day. So it's probably about 5.5 hours from Alabama, from where I started.
Good deal. So you're not tired, right? You ready?
No, I never get tired.
Hey, I had a lot of people calling me, man. They said, "Hey, Kevin, hey, so what type of question you gonna ask?" I said, "Well, you ask whatever question you gonna ask. I'm gonna ask whatever question I'm gonna ask." I said, as long as they're tasteful and they're respectful, then
It'll be
y'all
fine.
put your questions in the feed line. So you
There
don't
you
have no
go.
problem about asking you no questions, huh?
You just ask away.
All right, look, let's go and get started, man. Tell the people a little bit about you. Where you from?
All right, Steve Haynes. I live in a little town called Prattville, Alabama, which is right outside of Montgomery, um, about 12 miles from Montgomery. Been there since 1976. So Alabama's kind of home. As you alluded to, my dad was an Air Force guy, and we traveled around all the time. But we landed
Okay,
in Prattville when I was in
yeah,
high school.
okay, good deal. So why you didn't go in the Air Force, man? If your dad was an Air Force guy, why you didn't join?
Well, to be honest with you, I felt like I was in for 18 years. So
Hey,
I just, have to pick up and move every 3 or 4 years, and it
yeah,
was it was hard for me. I don't have
yeah,
siblings, so I'm an only child,
yeah,
and it was. I think a lot of my personality got set by that because we'd move to a new town and I'd go to a new school. I didn't know anybody, so I had to
yeah,
start meeting
yeah,
people right off the bat.
yeah.
So that's why I think I meet people really well
Mhm.
because the way I had to do that coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, because my son and my oldest boy, Kevin Jr., he went in the military. He went in the army for about 6 years and he got out. But the rest of my kids said, no, Dad, we've lived the army experience with you. Said, no, no, we don't want to do that, you know.
Well,
So
man, the Air Force was a great life for my dad. It probably saved his life when he got
yeah,
in early because he was a little bit of a troublemaker early,
yeah,
and just not troublemaker, just
yeah,
wild, just
yeah,
running, around and
yeah.
doing
Youthful
crazy.
exuberance. Yeah, just get
And,
into the yeah.
and that it was a great life for him, and he did well in it.
Well, I can tell you this, man. I cut down some trees today, courtesy of the army. You know, because I'm retired.
I saw that.
I got out there and cut down some trees. Look, the guy came over, and I asked him, I said, "How need you clear these trees?" He said, $3,000. I said, "No, sir, no, sir, no. I got 3 chainsaws out here. I got the time. I cut them down myself. And what I'm gonna do too, DJ Haynes, I'm gonna cut my wood up, and I think I'm gonna sell me a rick of wood. I think I'm gonna sell some bundles because I got a lot of trees, a lot of oak out there. I mean,
I saw
real
that. What is
oak.
that? Is that it's oak and
Yeah.
there's a lot of. You're in Arkansas though, right?
No, no, I'm in Texas.
You're in Texas because
Yeah.
I know when I lived in Lubbock for a little while before we moved to Alabama,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of mesquite
Yeah.
out there, and
Yep.
they like to use that for firewood as
Yeah,
well.
firewood and then for barbecue too. They do the same
Mhm.
thing. Yeah. So let me ask you a question, man. How long you been a DJ, man?
18 years.
18
Eight,
years.
18 years.
Wow. So but you DJ all types of music. You don't just play Southern Soul, you play everything, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, my big events are weddings. I book about 20, 25 weddings a year,
Uh-huh.
private parties, birthdays, anniversaries, retirement, whatever. I
Uh-huh.
do a lot of stuff for our local football team. I play all the home games for them. Been doing
Mhm.
that for 11 years. So
Okay.
that pretty much takes up my weekends starting in August through
Yeah.
the rest till December.
Uh-huh.
And then about 15 years ago, I kind of found out about Southern Soul. Actually,
Yeah.
didn't really. It was funny. I was thinking today about that. I was in Memphis, Tennessee, working years ago,
Mhm.
and I was at Club 152 right there on Beale Street. And I used to hang in all those clubs because I love music and I love live music. And this band played this song, and it was like it just my foot was tapping, my head was bobbing. I'm like, what is this song? And it was "I Am Mr. Jody" by
Okay.
Marvin Cease.
Mhm.
And I never heard the song, and so that was kind of the first time. Well, if you think about it, Johnny Taylor, Betty Wright were
Yeah.
on the Billboard charts
Yeah.
in their time, but that wasn't considered Southern Soul at the time. They were
Uh-huh.
more of a blues R&B stuff. So, you were exposed to it, but you didn't really understand that that was part
Mhm.
of Southern Soul at the time. So,
Okay. So is it true that Southern Soul basically just fell in your lap because during COVID time, you was getting kicked off playing other music, so you started playing Southern so you could stay on? Is that a lie?
no, that's exactly right.
Mhm.
I tried to. Some people wanted me to try to go on Facebook. I didn't know what I was doing. Tried to figure it out. Figured out that all the modern pop music I was playing was they weren't going to let me keep playing. And I just had an idea one night to try Southern Soul, not to get that audience.
Yeah.
I was trying to stay on longer than 10 minutes, and
Uh-huh.
most of those artists are independent. And they're not on major labels. So I think the computer algorithm that Facebook was using, I was hoping that it would kind of, circumvent that, and it did. And
Uh-huh.
so I found an audience by accident, actually.
Okay. Okay. All right. So uh let's talk about this urban influencer.
Okay.
Urban influencer and radio play. Heard you were part of that. What's your role in that? And
Yeah.
explain what they are.
So urban influencer, and I'm a recent participant in it.
Okay.
They reached out to me a month or so ago and said, "Hey, would you like to contribute to our charts?" So they do weekly charts and R&B, gospel, some other stuff, and they just recently started doing the Southern Soul charts, and that's really the only one I contribute to. Because my ear's pretty close to the pavement on it, and has been for a few years. So I've been able to start submitting weekly, and I think we're making a little headway because some of the things I've been submitting now are starting to hit the chart. So that's
Okay.
great for the artist, and it's great
Yeah.
for the artists.
And both of them the same thing. Airplay is the same thing. Radio airplay, same
I
thing.
believe they're associated, if not the same thing, but they're titled a little different.
Uh-huh.
So
So
I don't know that for sure.
so how do you pick the music that goes to them? I mean, is the music you like? Is it the music most requested by your audience? I mean, how do you select that music?
I'm a little selfish. I pick the ones I want to go,
Uh-huh.
uh, and only because um, I think part of the success I've had over the years as a DJ is I have a pretty good ear for music,
Yeah.
and so if I think it's a good song and I think it's got potential in the market to move up in charts and on streams and be successful, then
Mhm.
those are the ones I'm choosing because. Um, um, the requests are a little different because you'll get requests from Johnny Taylor and older songs that people want to hear. I get a lot of requests for that,
Uh-huh.
but that they don't sell tickets to concerts and they don't sell really CDs anymore because they're past. And the
Yeah.
future, I think, is the new artists coming out with new music. So I just
Mhm.
try to pick something I think has potential and throw it out there to the charts, see what happens.
Mhm. Yeah, because I know you said something earlier about you don't mind sticking your neck out to play new music. Explain that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's part of the role that I possess as a DJ is that if you hear music that has potential or someone comes to you with a song that you think has potential, I think it's kind of my role as a DJ to hey, let's throw it out to the public and see if we can get some legs under it and
Mhm.
help the artist along. So I
Mhm.
think that's part of it, the overall.
Now, do you think it's part of your responsibility to help break a record too as a DJ?
I don't know that it's my responsibility,
Uh-huh.
but
Part.
it's
Yeah.
something I think I like to do because every DJ has reasons for what they do. It may just be to entertain. It may just to be a scratch and cutter and entertain people. It may just be to play music for people. But if a DJ, if that's a role they want to take on, I think they should because without, I mean, it's all hand in hand. Artists need DJs, DJs needs artists, and
Yeah.
if you can help out, why not help out? I mean,
Yeah.
I just want to help out and
Mhm.
see people succeed and see good music go forward.
Now, do you charge people to play their music?
Oh no,
No.
no,
Do you think it's wrong for DJs if they charge artists to play their music? See, I kind of look at it both ways. I kind of look at it as it's they providing a service, for the artists, to help break their music. That's just me. That's why I look at it because it's all business. And
right.
then again, I look at it too as I mean, if you're a DJ and your sole purpose is to break music, then you shouldn't charge. So I kind of look at it both ways.
Well,
What do you think?
I think there's a fine line between that because I honestly don't think it's legal to do that according to
Yeah,
the record industry to charge to play
yeah,
music. However, I believe if you're legitimately charging a promotional service
yeah,
that is includes other things other than just playing music. Maybe
yeah.
you're doing some some social media posts to promote music. Then that's the one thing. But no, I don't. I haven't asked anybody for
Mm.
anything to play their music.
Yeah, because now, do you believe in the concept you have to spend money to make money? You believe in that?
I do believe in that.
Yeah, because that's what I tell people all the time. When everybody knows Papa John's and what's the major pizza places, right? But they
Right.
have like Ma's Pizza. They have all these little smaller pizza places that come in. They'll give out 500 pizzas, to sample it. That costs them money. That costs them money to give to the public in hopes of the public gonna come and purchase their product. So me personally, I don't think nothing wrong with that, but I agree with you too. It's a fine line too.
Right.
I don't think you should just take nobody money and lie and say you're gonna play the person's song, your ass don't play it. Or I think you should tell this person, hey, look, for a promotional fee, I can do X, Y, and Z. I don't think nothing's wrong with that. Me
Right.
personally. Yeah.
Right. But just to say, if you pay me $300, I'll spin your tune twice on Saturday and 3 times on Sunday. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's a little far
Uh,
fetched. Yeah, I think that's
but
wrong.
but
Yeah.
again, I'm not judging anybody for anything,
Yeah.
man.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Hey, I,
gotcha.
I just don't ask for anything.
Yeah.
I've promoted a lot of new music, and people are like, "Well, what's your fee?" And I'm like, "I don't have a fee. Just
Yeah.
if it's good, I'll play it for you."
There
But
you go.
I do agree with you on you got to spend money to make money,
Yeah.
and some of that, and you have to spend time as well. And I recently, am trying to help a new artist, and I'm trying to convince them, look, you might need to go do a couple promo shows to get yourself in the limelight.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody can cover a hotel for you and some gas money and some meal money, but I don't
Mhm.
expect, if nobody knows who you are, to go make $500 on an event. But I don't want to see them do it, maybe 2 3 times a year. You don't want to just do everything for free.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there is, I think, the need that if you want to get out there, you got to spend your time and money to do it,
Yeah.
and you may not
Mhm.
make money in the short term.
Yeah. You know what I do, DJ Haynes? There's no artist, and I've been a promoter since 2017, has ever done a free show for K Young Production. Never. So
Right.
I pay them something because you are an artist,
Right.
right? It might not be what you want,
Right.
but if you're a new artist, I see no value in that for me to give you an enormous amount of money when nobody know about you.
Sure.
But
Right.
if you take the time to get in your vehicle, leave your family, come to the interstate, I think they should be paid something.
Right.
I don't believe in no free promos. I don't believe that. To me, I think there's a way that the promoters can really get over and get a free show. I think they should at least pay them some, at least give them a room
Right.
at
No,
minimum.
absolutely.
At
No,
minimum.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I did.
Uh-huh.
For this young lady, I covered some expenses for them. So
Oh, okay. Now let me ask you a question. Now, would you play horrible music to you? Horrible to you as a DJ? You have a brand. You're playing music. You have followers. Would you play horrible music if it's horrible to you?
I uh I tend to hold a standard to what I play, and if the track doesn't sound good, like if it's distorted or doesn't sound like it was mixed or mastered right, or the vocals
Yeah.
are off track, I typically don't play it.
Uh-huh.
I'll try to get some feedback, like, hey, can you get this back in and get it remastered because the track just didn't sound right? Because I think it does a disservice to the people that do it the right way
Yeah.
in Southern Soul, not only Southern Soul, but the
Yeah.
other genres as well,
Mm-hmm.
to put out to put out things that are not up to standard.
That's
And
substandard. Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you give them some advice like that, it'll make them better. I mean,
Uh,
if they'll come out with a better track or better vocal or whatever to make that song better, and not to discourage them. It's more constructive criticism than anything else.
there you
But
go.
I tend to play. I tend to play what I like and what I think has potential. Now I'll throw in some requests occasionally on some online shows, but
Mm-hmm.
typically I don't want to be seen as like, why is this guy playing that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not good. Like, what kind of
Exactly.
DJ is this guy?
Yeah, because you have a brand. I mean,
Right.
people want to get upset, and I say it all the time. Everybody don't make the basketball team. Everybody don't make the
Right.
football team. Everybody don't make the baseball team. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't force feed your stuff on people if they don't like it, if it's not good.
That's
You
right.
just can't do it. So how do you? Go ahead. What you gonna say something?
I was going to say, now, you can have, and I've seen DJs do it, to have a night to say, hey, here's a bunch of new music I have. I'm not telling you yay or nay. Let's play it, and you tell me what you think.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, most of them already know
Yeah.
what's going to fly and not.
Mhm. So how did you screen the music before you play it?
Man, I get probably 30, 40 songs a week for the
Uh-huh.
last couple years in my email of new songs.
Mhm.
And I drive, so I'm a lumber salesman during the week, and I travel between Lowe's stores. I have 80 stores between Tennessee, Alabama, and the Panhandle of Florida. So
Mhm.
I have nothing but time on the road. So I got plenty of time to listen to music,
Mhm.
and I listen to it, and I evaluate it for myself. And that's kind of how I do
Mhm.
it.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I'm a
So.
one man team. I don't. I'm Team Haynes. I'm it. I
Mhm.
load it in. I play it. I pick the music. I load out. I drive to where I'm going. So I'm a
Mhm.
team of one.
Yeah. But would you tell an artist that you're not gonna play their music? Would you tell them that when they send it to you? Would you tell them that?
If they ask me for some feedback, I'll give them
What if
some
they don't
feedback.
ask? What if they
Yeah,
don't
if
ask?
if they don't ask, I just put it over in the probably not
And
folder
then, and
over
then
here.
they call and say, "Hey, DJ Haynes, why you? I've sent you my music, man. Why you ain't
Right.
played it?"
I'm gonna say, hey, I listened to it, and I'm not sure that that's gonna fit in my format right now.
Then they're gonna say, "Well, what, let the fans hear
Well, I don't do those nights.
it."
Not yet, anyway. Not to say I won't.
You don't do sweep it and keep it yet, huh?
Not yet. I mean,
Yeah.
I tried to do a top 30 thing one night years
Uh-huh.
ago. Oh, well, that's a year or so ago, to
Uh-huh.
make it different than my regular flow of my show, and I didn't get a whole lot of good feedback on it because it was like it wasn't very flowing. It was, stop and start and let me introduce this song. Hey, coming in at number 29 this week is
Mhm.
this, and people were more like, hey, we like the way your other show goes. It flows a little better. So
Yeah.
I got some feedback, and it didn't look like that was really a big thing to do. So I just quit doing that.
Okay. So let's talk about awards. I heard you was nominated, and you attended the awards show.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think 2020 I got nominated. I think it
Yeah.
was upcoming Internet DJ of the Year with ZBT.
Uh-huh.
2021 I got nominated for a couple categories, Southern Soul DJ, and it might have been Internet DJ of the Year. I can't remember. And
Uh,
but that was ZBT also. And I did go to the 2021 awards
okay.
out in Houston.
Yeah.
And then in 2021, I won the Meridian Music Southern Soul DJ of the Year award.
Okay. Good
And
deal.
then I think in 2020, I was top 3 in the Underground Music Awards, and then
Uh-huh.
this year I've been nominated twice by ZBT.
So how does that make you feel, man? Knowing that you've been nominated. How does that make you feel?
It's very humbling for me,
Yeah.
because there's so many DJs and good DJs out there, and for me, to get on a list is pretty much enough for me. I haven't I've only the only one I won was the Meridian Award, but to get on
Mhm.
the other with some of these great DJs is just it's an honor for me to just get on the
Mhm.
list because let's I'm a little bit of an outsider in the
Yeah.
genre, so to come in and make an effect on people like that, kind of tells me I'm doing something right. So
Now,
it helps motivate me.
now, were you honest? Now, being honest, uh, did you actually say, okay, they picked me because I'm white, or they picked me because I'm a good DJ? I mean, did that ever was a question in the back
I,
of your mind?
I never even thought about that, but I don't think they picked me because I was white.
Yeah,
I
because
think I might
you
have
are
got.
white.
I think. Am I? Am I? Am I? So
Yeah, yeah.
I think I honestly think probably because I was white and I was pretty good at what I was doing
Yeah,
may have affected that, but not just because I was white.
yeah,
I mean,
gotcha.
you got to be doing something right, you know.
Hmm. Okay. Now, are all DJs created equal in your eyes?
I think all DJs have the potential to be whatever they want to be because
Mhm.
everybody's got different, you know, aspirations as a DJ. You got
Mhm.
people that want to be a club DJ. You got people that want to be a scratch and entertainment DJ.
Mhm.
I wanted to be kind of a party and a wedding DJ. And then, some people want to be Southern Soul DJs.
Yeah.
I think everybody has the potential to kind of do whatever they want to do, but
Mhm.
everybody does we all play the same music, but we
Yeah.
have different attributes that make us different.
Okay.
Like, I think I blend well. I think I pick good songs and I
Yeah.
blend well when I do a mix.
Mhm.
I've seen other guys that I don't think do that well.
Yeah.
Then I've seen some that I'll go back and go, man, that guy's really good. He's smooth. DJ Melvin,
Yeah.
out of Georgia, is a great example. That
Mhm.
guy's I watch his stuff all the time. He's very smooth when his transitions and stuff.
Mhm. Now, do you critique other DJs as well? Do you critique them? Do you talk to them? Do y'all exchange information,
Man,
music?
I've been very lucky. I don't critique anybody,
Uh-huh.
but I've been very blessed. Man, I could go down a list. TC Morton, Big O, the Dream Team out of Georgia, Uncle Verge, J Baby, Ken and KJ, Beataholic, Godfather. Uh, I talk to those guys a lot.
Yeah.
And I also try to, if I hear something good in my area, because I think Southern Soul is very regional.
Yeah.
Um, if I hear something in my area that I think has potential, I'll shoot an email to those guys, say, hey, this is a song I think is pretty good down here. Right here it is. If you got anything up there, send it my way, because I think if you have this unofficial network of DJs across the country, then you can affect the market for an artist
Yeah. Yeah. I
better.
think it works better when everybody work together
Right.
in
I mean, because
anything.
I don't compete against any DJ.
Yeah.
I compete against me. I
Yeah.
try to be the best DJ I can be. There's a lot of things I don't do well, and I just don't do those things.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I stay with what works for me.
So when you came over to Southern Soul, when you actually started doing Southern Soul, what was it? One particular DJ did you watch so you can learn about the music and everything?
Well, a couple actually, and this was even before COVID. I had watched DJ Trucker for a year or so,
Uh
but
huh.
I think was still DJing out of his house, had
Yeah.
his little black and white banner behind him. Everything was backwards because he was still on his phone back then.
Hmm.
And Since I travel all the time, I have free time at night, and I would watch reruns of his shows, to try to pick up some music that I might not be aware of.
Yeah.
And so I would go through there a lot. And then there was a guy
Mhm.
named Tony Neal, that's more of an R&B DJ, and I like R&B a lot. So
Yeah.
he was doing some really smooth mixes back then. Like I said, this was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So currently, right now, how many followers do you have?
Well, on my personal page, I have 16,000.
Uh huh.
And then on my business page, my fan page, I think I just hit 64,000.
Are they organic?
Yes, yeah, I don't pay for fans.
You don't pay for fan. You don't pay for them, huh?
No, I got good ones. So I got
Yeah.
good people, man. They have been from day one.
Yeah.
Like I've got people that's been following me since the first day I went from my little barn background with the fruit baskets behind me
Mhm.
in the shed.
Now you have heard of not only just DJs, artists too, buying fans. You have heard that, right? I mean, that just thing just come up out
Yeah,
of
I
curiosity.
think it's very possible to do it.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, I just,
yeah. To each his own, right?
right.
Yeah, because you know what? When I first became a promoter, I listened to a lot of DJs, man. To learn who the artists are, and I talked to like Fat Daddy, P2K, Jeter
Hmm.
Jones, them guys. Because
Right.
me and Jeter was in the military together.
Right.
So yeah, so me and Jeter share a history. So when I was talking to him, he was telling me about different artists and stuff I need to talk to. Then once I got that down, that's when I branched off and really start, talking to him and listening to, like Banks and Trucker and King. I was listening to all them guys on the.
Right.
I said, okay, I like that music. I need to find out what that group is. So I'm telling you one thing I don't like about Southern Soul, and you probably watch my podcast. I hate the fact that it seems like nobody gets along. It seems like nobody gets along. I think you can move it further along, if you're honest with one another, you know, and you share information. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So how do you feel about that?
Well, you know, it does seem to be a little messy over the years.
Yeah,
And I wish everyone would just, like you said, just get along. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
when I hear,
At least cordial. I mean, you don't have to like nobody personally
right.
because they do
Yeah.
something personal against you, but at least you can be cordial with one another. You could be a man or woman. If
Right.
somebody
uh,
speak to you, you can speak back. You don't have to shake their hand, or you can speak back. At least be cordial. But I think a lot of people take it personal. They just take personal stuff, or
Right.
what they do is they'll say, like for instance, they might say, DJ Haynes, Kevin was talking about you, man. Really? So I call you and say, you come on the show. No, I'm not coming on the show, man. You was talking about me. Instead, you pick up the phone and say, hey, Kevin, hey, well, what's going on? I think a lot of that goes on. And I think a lot of that can be nipped in the bud. What do you
Right.
think?
I agree.
Yeah.
It's just true that you can go farther if everybody just works together. But I
Yeah.
mean, you're gonna have little things. I don't care who
Of
you are,
course.
what
Yeah.
genre, what industry.
Yeah.
But again, I think if this genre, if everybody just pulled together, this is, man, it's on the cusp of going really, really big.
Yeah.
COVID did wonders for
Yeah.
Southern Soul,
Yeah.
because all these DJs were online playing it,
Yeah.
and the people were getting exposed to something some people never even heard it before.
Mm-hmm.
And so if people would just get along, I hear, and I don't do a lot of shows, but I've
Yeah.
heard artists will see the lineup and they don't want to go behind somebody, so they try to jump the line and stuff like that and go before another artist. I'm like, hey, if you're
Yeah.
number 3, go number 3. If you're number 5, go number 5. If you're leading off, go lead off and do the best you can do.
Yeah.
And like for me, I think all these other DJs that I don't have any problem with any DJs.
Yeah.
Not at all, because I think we all are out here to help the artist, and if
Yeah.
that's why I try to send music to these guys, and I hope they send it to me as well, and they do.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question about: do you prep your playlist before you go live?
No, I might pick the first 2 or 3 songs, and after that, I'm off the fly. I go with what I feel. I go with, I try to throw in a few requests if they fit in, but my lives have just they're kind of just inspirational for me. It's like I do usually start with something I want somebody to hear, or that has a good intro that I can roll it in while people come in, or it's a new song I want to kind of expose. But no, I don't sit there and pick the night before like the 80 songs I want to play.
Yeah.
Never have.
But do you think something's wrong with that, in your opinion, as a DJ?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. To me, that if you need to do that to be better prepared, and that's what you do that makes you better, then do that. For me, I like the excitement of not even knowing where I'm going that night. I know where I'm going to start, but then I really don't know where the night takes me. So I like that.
Okay. So let's get real now. Them were the easy questions.
Okay.
That's the first 30-minute segment.
Hang on. Let me drink some water.
that was the easy segment right there.
All right.
Okay.
You set me up now. Set me up now.
Here's the deal.
All
right. Don't know if you're aware of this, but you're white, right? I didn't know you knew that. You was white. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm white.
Okay. Now, are you fully accepted in Southern Soul as a white guy?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, I haven't had anybody, face to face treat me any different. But I mean, I'm sure there's some resentment with someone out there, and I wish it wouldn't be, because it's like, I mean, I'm a DJ. I love music.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic, Mexican, Asian. If you got a good song, I'm gonna try to play it.
Yeah.
And let people hear it. So I mean, I wished it wasn't even a topic, but I guess it is. But it is. And but I can tell you, I've been in plenty of rooms where there's been 200, 300, 400 people, maybe even 1,000. I'm the only white person in the room, and I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, because you grew up Air Force. That's why
I grew up where my parents instilled in me, you judge a person by character, not the color of their skin. And that's how I grew up. That's just the way it is. Now, if you're not going to treat me right, I don't care if you're white, black, whatever, then I probably won't mess with you.
So let me ask you a question. Now, so you're from Alabama, right?
Right.
Alabama has a history of racism, history. So how do your non-African American friends feel about you playing soul music?
I don't really know. I've had some feedback, or like, why you play all that music? And I'm like, well, I like it. That's what I grew up listening to. I grew up listening to the Confunctions, Bar-Kays, Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire. That's what I listen to. Now I listen to other stuff too. I like country music, but if you were to ask me, hey, tonight, what do you want to listen to? It'd probably be 80s and 90s and R&B, maybe some 70s old school R&B. Hey, at the end of the day, when I'm out here doing what I do as a DJ, I'm paid to entertain an audience that has paid me to be there. So, so I'll play for whoever's there, and without prejudice.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter to me.
Okay. So when you DJing at an all black event, because I'm pretty sure you have DJ all black event, right?
I have.
Do you be out there twerking or
what? I don't twerk. And anybody that listens to my show knows what I do. I have 2 steps and a slide. 2 steps and a slide. That's all I got. Now, back in the day, when I was in high school and college, I used to go out and cut a rug. I used to love to go dancing, and was known as a kind of a pretty decent dancer. But these days, it's more, I'm an old cat, so I'm just kind of 2 steps and a slide around.
So look, so when you be at them show with all them black queens in there, right? Now I know you're a married man, but tell the truth, you be checking out them sisters, don't you?
Well, part of the role of a DJ is crowd control on the dance floor. So there's occasionally you have to like be back there and go like, so I
You be checking out them sisters. I know you do.
hey, really and truly, I'm so worried about the next song that I'm playing. I'm digging in the crates
Yeah,
over here
right.
trying to.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, right. You know them sisters
I
roll up in there.
I love a good party.
Cause look, I know they come up and be like, hey, DJ Haynes, how you doing? Could you play this? And they stand there for an extended period of time, don't
They come hang out a minute.
you? Got some
It's all
stalkers.
good.
Y'all DJs have stalkers, man, like them artists do. I know you
Man,
got stalkers that
I
follow
don't,
you around.
I got some good fans, man. I don't know about stalkers, but I got some people that are very dedicated,
So
very
they follow you.
dedicated.
So they follow you from show to show.
I do have people that show up.
That's a stalker,
The
sir.
show.
That's a stalker, sir. They follow you from
They're
show to show.
supporters.
Okay.
Supporters.
Okay. Supporters / stalkers. Okay. All right. So check this out.
I got good fans.
All right. You got good fans. Yeah. I mean, hell, you got 64K followers. Yeah. Okay. That's a good deal. So what do you think about King George?
I think he changed the game for the better. He came in. He was a guy that could sing. He had good tracks. They were mixed well, and they had good vocals and good hooks.
Yeah.
And he had a good whatever recipe they came up with was a good one, and it was good because that's along with what we talked about earlier. The benchmark in Southern Soul has to be raised to where everybody just can't get your song played by everybody. I mean, it's just that's not that way in R&B. It's not that way in hip hop. And it to me, when you have that benchmark, it makes the whole genre better.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. This is a black and white question.
Okay,
You're still on a hot seat. I just had to break that up a little bit.
that's all right.
Now, it's often said by black people that we can't have nothing to ourselves,
Right.
because without white people copying or rebranding our originality for monetary gain. Has anyone ever accused you of this? If so, how would you respond if they haven't?
Yes, they have accused me of that. Prophetizing off the black industry, black music industry, which is ridiculous. Because again, I'm going to go back to what I said just a while ago.
Yeah.
I'm a DJ. I get paid to play music for different audiences. And sometimes my audience is all black. Sometimes it's a mixed crowd. Sometimes a white crowd. I didn't do the online stuff to try to profit. I didn't even know. I had people trying to cash at me and Venmo me stuff earlier. I didn't even know what it was in 2020. I had to ask my daughter, what's Cash App? People were trying to send me cash. I'm like, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this for mentally for me. And if it helps you get through this COVID outbreak, then that's what I'm doing. So I mean, people, I've been accused of that, but here's my deal. First of all, you got to study your craft if you're going to be any good at it. I studied the craft. I didn't know what Southern Soul was 15 years ago, but I do now, and I know it pretty dang well. And I think sometimes that doesn't fit well with other people that are doing the same thing, because maybe I know as much as they do in some areas, or maybe I might know some artists that they don't know about. So but it's because I studied it. I'm studying. I listen to music every day. Like I listen to stuff every day. I try to get better and listen to music every day.
So I also heard you did a fundraiser for artists who lost everything and people had a problem with it.
Right.
Two things. Why did you decide to take on that task, and why did they have a problem with it?
Well, I actually did two different ones for two different artists, but I did Lomax Spalding lost his home last December, and I was actually going out to the ZBT Awards when I found out about it. So I immediately called him. He and I talk probably every other week, if not every week, just about, hey, how you doing? How's the family? Where you at this week? You got any shows? He's good people, and he's has become a good friend of mine. And immediately, I reached out to him and I said, what can I do? Is there something I can do? And I said, maybe I can throw a fundraiser for you. So I got some artists together, and they all offered their services for free, came to Montgomery and did a show. Jeter, Big Yayo, I can't remember who all was on the show now.
Uh-huh.
Theotis was supposed to be on there. I think Cadillac Man, Mr. Smoke, Volton Wright, Tasha Mack. It was a good show, and
Mhm.
the weather was bad that weekend, we didn't have the crowd we wanted, but we made some money for them, and
Mhm.
everything we made that night, I didn't get a dime of it. I took it right out to his bus and gave it to him.
Mhm.
And I'd heard through the grapevine that uh, some people in the industry got a little pissed off because I did one for him and maybe did it first before anybody else. And it wasn't about me trying to be the first to do anything.
Uh-huh.
It just so happens that I reached out to him as soon as it was over and said, I want to do something for you.
Yeah.
Now, if he'd have told me, hey, I got 3 other people lined up to do something, I would say, well, I'll be number 4. I
Mhm.
wasn't trying to be the first of doing that. I was trying to help a friend of mine that needs some help. And if
Mhm.
I could help in some small way, then,
Mhm.
then, and then, also, Cammy Cole's home burned, and well, I did an online fundraiser for her as well a few
Okay.
months later.
And you gave 100% of the proceed to him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You didn't get paid a dime.
Mm,
So did the artist came for free too?
that's correct.
Wow, that's good
Yep.
deal. That's
Yep.
good
And
deal.
and
Yeah.
that's to me, if you can't do that, then the whole thing's messed up.
Mhm.
If you can't help our brothers out and sisters out at their time of need without expecting something in return,
Mhm.
that's just you're
I mean,
down the
I
wrong
think,
path.
but I think a lot of them have that mindset. Is very few have that me mentality. It's very few to have that me is all about me. Look at me, But I
Right.
think I think a lot of like when I did my daughter's fundraiser, people reached out. She's a head volleyball coach there in Dallas, and they raised $10,000. So I mean, but like I said, I can pick up the phone and call. I call Calvin Richardson, Roy Chip, Anthony Tucker, Fat Daddy, LJ Eccles. I call those guys. They donated. They donated. Lady Q. So it was for them to buy the women undergarments that they need,
Right.
that the ladies need, but like I said, you have very few. It's all about that me mentality, man. So now, do you think you're bigger than an artist?
Oh no, no, no,
No.
no, no, no. I'm a DJ. I play
Yeah.
music. I don't sing a lick. So that's why I'm always worried at events. If my stuff goes out, somebody better come up and sing because I don't. I sing in the car and the shower, and that's it.
Yeah. And
Uh,
now,
but
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
but
sorry.
I was gonna say no. I mean,
Yeah.
it works hand in hand. The
Yeah.
artist has to make the music and go out and do the performances and sell the tickets to the shows. The DJ just
Yeah.
helps them do what they do, and you know
Hmm.
no, I don't know. I mean, there's not many DJ Khaled's and Jazzy Jeffs still out here. So
Yeah.
those guys, and they are big. They are
Yeah.
art. They're entertainers and artists themselves, I
Oh yeah.
think.
Yeah. 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 Like what's his name? Kid Capri and them guys, man. Now,
Hmm.
now, can anybody be a DJ?
Anybody wants to be a DJ can.
Can anybody be an artist?
They can try. Just like a DJ. Hey, that's why.
Who's
That's
more
why.
creative? Who's more creative, an artist or a DJ?
Now, when you get the creativity,
Yeah.
I don't know that you can compare the two because
Okay.
artist creativity comes into writing and
Yeah.
music, and DJ creativity comes in with transitions
And mixing and stuff.
and mixing.
Yeah.
So I think it's two separate things.
Yeah. But I say the same thing. I just give credit where credit is due. I mean, you do have some great DJs, but to
Right.
me, as a promoter, K Young Production, a DJ is not greater than an artist. In my book, that's my
Right.
opinion. That's my opinion. You do have some great DJs, that play good music, and I respect a lot of them, but now when you don't do a lot of Southern Soul shows, correct?
I've tried to do one of my own. I've done. I don't think I've besides the one that the fundraiser thing, that
Mhm.
I set up. I DJ'd that one.
Go
But
ahead.
I haven't done a lot of. I've been invited to a couple.
Mhm.
Daryl Lee and Roscoe Miller had invited me to do the the tri-state family reunion down in Dothan, but I
Mhm.
had a conflict of schedule because like I said, my weekends are booked. I'm booking stuff into 24 already.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Really?
my
Wow.
book my count is crazy,
Yeah.
and so
So
when
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
I'm
I was
sorry.
just gonna say, when sometimes I've had a couple invites to do some shows, but I'm already booked for something else.
Now do you give other artists work? I mean other DJs work if you can't be there?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
got a list of guys around the Montgomery area that if I'm busy, I've got 8 names I can throw out there to people that I trust I'm on. You got to be, you got to show up on time with good equipment and know what you're doing to get on my list. And there are some, many of those around the town, and I spread those names out, to try to
Mhm.
do a service to the customer. I can't do it, but I know these guys will do you a good job.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not in any groups or anything like that. It's just me.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So if I want to become a DJ tomorrow, okay,
Right.
what equipment I need right now to DJ if I got a party tomorrow? What equipment do I need right now? I'm talking about not. I'm not trying to be a DJ trucker and king all them. I'm trying to be a
You
basic
want, yeah,
DJ.
you want to go do somebody's birthday party in the
Yeah,
backyard.
like right now.
All
What
right,
I need?
you need to get you a couple powered speakers,
Okay.
maybe a sub or two if you want to do that.
Okay.
If you do powered, you may not need amps because they come all together. So, but you need a mixing board. If you
Uh-huh.
want to do microphones, you need a mixing board, and then if you're gonna do any kind of mixing, you need to get you a DJ controller or some turntables,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got to have you a computer, and you got to have a good one that's
Uh-huh.
got the right specs on it, because you can't get in there with a $400 DJ and expect it to produce for you when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
And you better
Do I
have
have
you better have
do
a
I
good music library.
Yeah, I don't have to have like the 808s and all. I can just have some basic
You can
speakers,
go
right?
out there right now. Oh yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you buy $200-300 speakers that if you want to just do a little backyard party, uh, you could do that. Like,
Uh-huh.
you know, $300 or $400, $500, not much. But I
Okay.
started out with 215s and a PV600 power amp.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Wow.
I didn't have a lot.
So how much equipment do you have right now?
I have a lot. I probably have 6 or 8 double 15s that
I'm
run
talking about
3,000.
monetary. How much
Oh,
money have you
monetary,
spent? How much money have you spent on equipment as a DJ?
probably about $35,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
It has, but I started out. I didn't start out that
Have
way.
you
I
made the
started out
money
with
back?
what I could
Have you made
afford.
the money back from investing in that? Have you?
That's
Yeah.
right. Oh, absolutely. Because I
Okay.
bought that stuff like 8 or 10 years ago, and I keep
Uh-huh.
adding to it a little bit. But the bulk of my equipment, but I went to the people that I trusted at Bailey Brothers Music in Montgomery, and I told them
Mhm.
what I wanted to do, because I wanted to take myself to the next level so I could do bigger events
Mhm.
and use the right equipment.
Yeah.
And they said, "This is what you need." He handed it to me, and I had to sit down for a minute because it was about at that time it was about $15,000 of equipment,
Mhm.
and then I said, "Well, if that's going to make me better and sound better, then that's what we need to do." So I've
Yeah.
I've just I've just always believed in buying. I don't want to have to replace it all the time, so I'm buying you know good stuff when I buy it.
Mhm. So what's the deal with microphones with DJs, man? Y'all tell them artists to be careful with y'all microphones. Those microphones cost a lot of money or something?
Yeah, I was doing a little thing at a high school a couple years ago, Lochapoka, Alabama.
Uh-huh.
I was helping the head football coach is a good friend of mine over there, and
Uh-huh.
I was doing a pep rally for him, and I had my $450 Shure microphone wireless. I let an assistant coach use, and he was hyping the boys up, and it kind of went in slow motion as he did the drop the mic thing after his little talk, and he dropped my $450 mic about 4 feet, and it hit the gym floor. I was the whole time I was like, I know you just didn't do that, but it was fine. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, they're expensive,
Yeah.
and since COVID, everything's gotten worse. But like to get you a good wireless mic, it's about 450. I got another one that costs about 600, and then if you really want to do good microphone systems for shows, I mean, it's out the roof. It's a lot of money.
Okay, so is a DJ same as a sound man?
No, I'm a DJ. I am not a sound engineer. So when you tell me, hey, I need to take this, yeah, I know Tucker. I hear him all the time. He's like, hey, take this out of the monitor, or I need this in the monitor. I'm like, if he looks at me, I'm like, I, hey, I'm doing the best I can do right here. So
He gonna be ass out, huh?
I'm gonna say you need to turn the monitor the other way so you don't hear it, because but no sound. I've plugged into some shows before,
Mhm.
and sound engines, they know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and I respect those guys. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to do a quality show, a big show with good art, I mean, with a lot of top name artists, you're going to have a sound man.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, man, sounds matter. every show I do, I have a sound guy. Period. And now if I do a show like inside of a little club or something that holds about 50 people, I have a DJ. But my shows, I have a sound guy. I got the best sound guy in Central Texas, Winston, best sound man. So, but like I tell them too. Now when you DJ for shows, right? So I have a lot of talk with DJs about their pay when they do shows, right? So I'm asking you as a DJ, do you think your pay should be equal to an artist on that show?
If it's an artist that's just starting out, maybe.
Yeah. Not
if somebody nobody knows.
No. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about I'm talking about a mid-level artist. Huh?
Well, you think about it. So if you're going to invite me to be the DJ on your show, you're going to have a sound man. So only thing I have to bring is I bring my backpack with my computer, my headset, and a controller. So all I'm going to do, he's going to send me an XLR cord, and we're going to plug in straight to him. I don't have to bring anything. So already my price in my mind is not what it would be if I had to pull my 16-foot trailer to where I'm going and provide some stuff. I don't know what the number is for anybody. I'd hear what the offer was, and if I didn't have anything to do, or if I wanted to do that, then then you either do it or you don't.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I believe, I'm telling you, man, I've been to plenty of shows where they had great artists on there, but the sound sucked, so the people were mad. They didn't give a damn. You had Michael Jackson on there. If the sound's not good, the people gonna be pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Sound is everything.
Yeah. So have you done it? Have you booked your own show? Have you booked artists with you before? Have you ever done
it? I did. I did one back in August of
last year. Did you win or lose?
I lost. I took the big. Hey, I took the bill. I took the big L right there. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It was something I did because people that watched my show said, "Hey, soon as COVID's over, we want to come see you live. Do something live." And I'm like, "Okay, well," but let me see what I can do. I'm not a promoter. I don't want to be a promoter. But I said, well, let me try something. So I reached out. It was August of 21. It was hotter than dog days out there. It was an outside event, and there was some other things going on around too. At the time, I wanted to split it between 3 people. And then one backed out, and when the other backed out, the other one had to back out. And then I was left with a choice. And my choice was, hey, do I continue with this show and just do it by myself? Or do I just say, hey, things didn't work out, we're going to postpone it or cancel it? Well, at the time, I'd already verbally booked all the artists. Lomax, Mr. Nelson, Danny B, Solomon Thompson. Who else on that show? I think that was about all. Lomax. But anyway, had everybody kind of booked in and locked in. And so I told myself, especially being an outsider in the industry, that I needed to show the public that if I said I was going to do something, I was going to do it. And I said I was going to throw a show. So I threw the show and I lost, but I gained too, because every one of those artists, when they pulled up, they never put a foot on the ground before I didn't hand them their money, what we had agreed on. So they got paid. They never even stepped foot before I handed them, and I told them I appreciated them being. But now, if I needed to get any one of those artists back again, well, Stephanie it was on it too. I didn't want to forget Miss Stephanie. She's great. She's out of the Montgomery area. She's a great singer, been around a long time. But so, I did win in that aspect because it's about relationships. It's not on them for me to pull the draw through the gate. That's on me.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in trying to make my money at the gate to pay somebody, because that's just not going to work out very
exactly.
well.
Yeah. And I say the same thing, man. There's a lot of janky promoters. Before I even sell one ticket, I already got all the artists' money. I already got their money, because
that's right.
I think you're a loser if you book a damn show and you have these people come to your area and you waiting on the door. What if 5 people show up? Because some of these artists have 5 and 10 people show up. Let's just be real. And because someone be lying about, they'll say, man, look at my live. Okay, but you had Tucker, TK Soul, Calvin Rich, all them people, and you was an open act. So nobody's come to see you. Nobody comes to see you at all. Let's just be honest.
No, I
So
mean it's just not going to work out well for anybody if you
yeah.
do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I said, I lost financially, but I won in a lot of ways. And like I said, and y- relationships are the most important thing
Yeah.
that you need. And I could call any one of those people if they're open. I'm sure they would
Yeah.
probably. I would hope they would be happy to come back and do something with me
Yeah,
again.
relationships last longer than money. You know, look at my buddy Carol Pippin on here. She sold me my house. She's a realtor. She sold me my house 8 years ago. That's my buddy Carol Pippin. Hey Carol, yeah, she called me the mayor when I was building. We was building our house because I was over here. I came over here when the workers show up at 7:30. I showed up at 7:30. When they left, I left at 5. So I was here from 7:30 to 5 every day for 9 months and watched them build my house. Every
Right.
day. I ain't had nothing else to do. You know, I was spending a large amount of money on this, but that's Carol Pittman. Tucker's on here too. What's up, Tucker? So let me ask you this question right here. Have you ever ran into a janky promoter that didn't pay you what they were supposed to pay you as a DJ?
No, I had a private party one time, didn't pay me,
What'd you
but
do? Did you
not.
still perform?
Well, it was on me because I didn't get my money up front. I just did my party, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna send you that check." And well, I got the check, but it was a bad check. Hey, this was several years ago. I learned my lesson on that. This was probably 6 years ago.
So they sent you a rubber check. It bounced all the way down the street on.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I took. Lucky it wasn't for a lot of money back then. So, but I
Yeah.
learned. I was like, okay, we do a little bit of upfront money.
Uh-huh. Hey,
But
you an athlete, right?
not
You were an
anymore. But
athlete.
I
You were an
was
athlete. Yeah, you played minor leagues for what the Detroit
Detroit
Tigers, right?
Tigers,
Yeah,
81, 82, and 83.
yeah, talk about that, man. I mean, that's big right there.
Yeah, it got me in a lot of interviews early on in my career when I was trying to get jobs because that was my first job, and they say Detroit Tigers.
Uh-huh.
So I got drafted out of college. I think I was like drafting like the 17th round or something in 1981 out of college, my third year of college. And so I did. I got a chance to play for 3 years with Detroit, and I played baseball from time I was 6 till time I was 23. I played every summer. So it was something I loved, and glad I did it. I learned a lot about the business. It's not about how good you are; it's about positioning and how much money they gave you, and how high of a round pick you were. Like the top 5 rounds, they're gonna keep you around even if you can't play.
Mm-hmm.
Like just because they got money invested. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a great time. I still keep in touch with 3 or 4 of the guys that I played with back then. You know, that's been 40 years ago.
Wow.
So
Wow. And,
it was.
and, and you're 62, right? You don't look it. You're
I
62.
I am 62 years old. Just
Wow.
had my
So,
birthday, September 3rd.
well, happy belated birthday. And look,
Thank you.
so hold on. I'm gonna go back to what you said earlier. So you 62 years old, and
Right.
you drag all your equipment and all that by yourself.
Yeah,
Well,
I drive
you can't hire
there.
nobody. What's up?
To
What's up?
I'm too cheap.
With
Hey, I work too hard for my money to
yeah.
pay some guy that don't even want to be there to help me load in and out. And I got to tell him, no, don't put that over there. Put it over here.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just I've got everything down to a science. As
Uh-huh.
even as far as setup, I know where everything goes. I know
Yeah.
how everything goes back in the trailer, and it's just harder for me to tell somebody what to do, and it's just
Mhm.
easier. But plus, at my age and my work schedule, because I work 6, 7 days a week sometimes between my lumber job and my DJing job, that
Mhm.
this is the time on the weekend where I can get a little exercise and lift and move, and so
Mhm.
it keeps me, I guess, a little younger anyway, just trying to do everything myself.
So in other words, you don't do nothing on your lumber job. You just go there and just tell people you want to buy stuff and load it up and everything. You don't really do nothing.
Well, I'm not a manual labor person, but I do a lot. Hey, hey, I am the problem solver.
Oh, you the boss.
I'm the problem solver. You got a
Oh, okay.
problem, I'll solve it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you the one they call when they got a problem, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you better not come down here to Texas with that attitude because everybody got guns down here.
Well, see, I don't supply anything in Texas. I stop in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida.
Yeah.
I might know somebody you can call out there though, but it won't be me.
Uh-huh. Wow. I can't believe, man, you don't want to hire nobody, man. So how much longer you think you can do this as a 62-year-old man at DJ? Let's be
I don't
honest.
know. I don't know because I'm buying new equipment. I just bought some new equipment last week.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to retire anytime soon.
So really and truly be honest, that you have a full-time job.
Right.
So this is not your sole source of income, just doing music. So you can
No,
just this is leisurely for you.
it is, but I don't take it as leisure. I take it
Yeah.
as a business. I mean,
It's as far as money.
it's
Yeah.
a second job for me.
Uh-huh. Wow. Hey man, you should have joined the Air Force, man.
Um, I I don't like being micromanaged, and I don't like people telling me what to do. So I wouldn't have done well.
Well, that's the world, man. They're gonna
I
tell you what
know,
to do. Yeah, they're gonna
I
tell you
know,
what
but
to do. Yeah.
yeah, but that's why I didn't do it because
That look,
I
look,
tell me what to do.
look, that's just like you DJing for a show when them fans come up and tell you, are you like DJ King? You don't take requests?
I evaluate the requests.
DJ King say he ain't taking no request. He say he
I
ain't
know.
taking no
I
request.
heard him say that the other night.
Yeah, yeah. So do you have a as far as artists? Let's talk about artists. Do you have a top 5 that you know for a fact that's gonna move the party wherever you go? That
Oh,
you go to, that you go
you
to.
talking about music?
Yeah, music. So
Yeah,
when you go somewhere and people looking like zombies and shit, like they sitting in church,
yeah.
or the restaurant. When you go in there, you start seeing. You say, you know what? I'm gonna pull out my A game. Who do you pull out to move the crowd?
Is Tucker still in here?
Yeah, he's still on here.
Tell him I need a show drop. Hey, Tucker, I need a show drop from you, brother.
Okay,
Um,
he heard you.
no, Tucker. Tucker's a go-to every time. People
Mhm.
love Tucker's music. You can hit Tucker. You can hit King George. Of course, now he's hot on the trail. Um, you got uh, Ob Buchanan, Jay Hammer that have party music. Jeff Floyd, TK Soul.
Yeah.
Um, J1. There's a lot of things you can go to. Uh, to see what if that moves the crowd, then you're in the right lane.
Uh-huh.
And
So
then
let me.
on the female side, there's some females as well.
Yeah.
Miss Jody,
Yeah.
Karen Wolf, Lacey, Nelly, Nelly Travis. I mean,
Uh-huh.
West Love. I
Uh-huh.
mean, Dee Dee Simon.
Yeah.
There's things you can go to that that like right now. I did a 60th birthday party Sunday. Did a 50th birthday party on Saturday, but on both of them, I mean, they want to hear some King George. You can't play it enough. Now,
Yeah.
I don't like playing things 2 and 3 times. I really don't like playing things 2 times a night.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Arthur Young. Arthur Young. I forgot Arthur
Yeah.
Young. I see Funky 40. Arthur Young's
Yeah.
another one you can play. Jeter.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot. There's a lot of good artists out right
Mhm.
now. So there's a lot of good music.
Yeah. So have you heard that Dee Dee Simon new album?
I have. She's got some really good tracks out right now. 4 or 5 of them, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's really really good. It's really really good. I had to call her and tell her, congratulate her that is a nice album, man. It really is.
Yeah,
So
I will tell you, I think whatever they've done over the last year or so is really working
yeah.
because I can hear it in the tracks are better and the vocals are better. So
Mhm.
I don't know if they sat down and said, "Hey, we're going to go a different direction or try something different on the tracks." But
Mhm.
whatever they're doing right now is really good.
Yeah. Hey, somebody said they bet you found out what Cash App was quickly.
Well, I mean, I did. I ended
Yeah.
up. I got tired of telling people that I don't have it. So
Uh,
finally, I got them, and I just basically put them on the screen. I don't think you can go back and listen to every one of mine. I don't think I've ever asked anybody to tip the DJ,
yeah.
or that wasn't my intention when I went on Facebook. A couple
Mhm.
years ago, I wasn't there for monetary reasons. I
Mhm.
was there really because I mentally needed it because I was used to be in the road 5 days a week,
Yeah.
and now I'm at home and I was getting a little antsy. So
Mhm.
and then other people were responding that it did good for them. So
There's some people on here say you welcome to their barbecue.
very good. Well, I'll come if I'm open. I'll come.
So you welcome to their barbecue. So look, let me ask you this right here. Everybody's had one of those moments where they went to they DJ'd an event or they sung at an event and them people looking at you like, okay, what are you playing? Have you ever had one of those moments?
Um, no, I mean, like you think you're in the wrong direction. You're headed in
Yeah.
like they don't like what you're playing.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. I think that's one of the things I do well. It's funny.
Uh-huh.
I used to do these events with uh, Jackie Fontero in Montgomery. She's still a wedding planner down there now. A good one too. I do a
Uh-huh.
lot of events with her, and I like to do them. with her because she's on top of her game. But I used to do stuff with her, and she'd come up and hang out with me at the DJ booth, and I said, "Hey, watch this. You see that group of people right over there? I'm finna play this song and watch this."
Uh-huh.
And next thing you know, they're on the floor because you just to me, you got to watch your crowd because again, if what you're playing is not working, you better go a different direction or you're not gonna have a crowd.
Yeah. You ever
So,
got booed? You ever got booed?
no, but I had a friend of mine did. Okay, quick. Hey,
Tell me about that.
quick story. So, I double booked myself for 2 events. I had
Uh-huh.
a 4th and 6th grade dance that I used to do in Prattville. They called it Friday Night Lives, and then
Uh-huh.
I had a booking out at the country club for a party, and
Uh-huh.
so God rest his soul. Tommy Story passed away a few years ago, and he was a good friend of mine I used to work with. But he wanted to be a DJ, and I helped him get some equipment and give him some music and get him started. And he just never quite got it,
Yeah.
But he was okay. So I said, "Hey, I can give him this 4th to 6th grade thing, and it'll be a piece of cake. I'll give him the playlist.
Uh-huh.
Like he wouldn't even have to do anything but hit play and just
Yeah.
don't touch anything." Well, he got to messing around. I let him do the 4th and 5th, 6th grade dance.
Yeah.
He got to messing around and got off track and couldn't find the music. And next thing he knows, he played some song. And he said he never been so embarrassed in his life that those 4th and 6th grade kids were up there booing him on stage. So I hated it for him.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, man. As a DJ, you go to shows. What's your opinion about artists singing over their music? What's your opinion on that?
I've heard that a couple times. I haven't been anywhere where they did that. I've watched some replays and I've heard it.
Uh-huh.
That's on them. I think it's better if they sing to an instrumental track.
Yeah.
It's probably more professional to do that. But if that's all you have,
Uh-huh.
then you got to do what you got to do. And I don't know what reason sometimes people choose to do that. Why is that? Because they don't have the instrumental, or are they not confident enough to sing without the voice in it? I don't
Yeah,
know. But
they studio people.
I like to hear them sing to the instrumental track. But I have heard that before.
Uh-huh. So let me ask you this question right here. Are you your favorite DJ?
Yeah, I'm my favorite DJ.
Do you have any other favorites or no?
I mean, yeah, like I said, the list I said earlier, you got TC Morton, you got Big O, you got Ken, Beataholic, J Baby. These guys are out here doing what they do, and that Bubba Ye out of Texas, Bubba Ye.
Yeah.
Man, I love catching their shows because everybody does things a little different. They play a little different variety sometimes. We all have these core songs that we can all play.
Yeah.
But then occasionally you'll hear that one song it's like, hey, that was a good song. I need to try to get that. So I think I try to learn from other DJs, music and maybe little things, maybe something about equipment or a piece of equipment. I'm always learning. Like I still learn every day.
Like somebody just made a comment, Shannon Farmer said, I appreciate these lives because you've turned me on to some more great DJs, Kevin. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, because, I mean, when it comes to artists, now I know probably about 90% of the artists now, you have artists pop up like every 5 seconds in Southern Soul. You got like 9,000 artists. But when it comes to DJs, I mean, you may maybe 50, maybe 75,
right.
DJs. So y'all are a smaller circle. And I know a lot of them, but it's a lot of them I don't know too until DJ Ken and Sugar Love and yourself. Y'all start naming these people. I said, oh, okay, that's cool. Like Beataholic and all of them. That's pretty cool, man. But I really wish y'all can come together because DJs are the ones that push Southern Soul. Y'all push Southern Soul. I mean, promoters we do too, but y'all push it daily with the music. What was you going to say?
No, I was going to say, and you're right, because and like I mentioned about COVID in 2020 was how it helped Southern Soul, because if you really go out and look at traditional radio, I don't know of any radio stations that just play Southern Soul 24/7 that are traditional radio. They'll do an hour at lunch, or they might do a morning thing, or they might mix in a couple Southern Soul songs during the day, or they'll do a Saturday hour or 2 hours or things like that. So I do think that we as DJs can be very beneficial to the market and to Southern Soul and the artists by playing this music.
Mhm. Yeah, we get ready to get a full-time Southern Soul station here in Killeen, and yours truly gonna pick all the Southern Soul music.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick all the Southern music. So
There
if
you
it
go.
ain't good, if you listen, you can forget it. You can forget it. If it ain't good, you can forget it. It ain't getting no radio play. If I gotta pick it, and you
Right.
can forget it. You can forget it. So, and I'm gonna say this to a lot of artists. You know, a lot of your artists want to do talk shows and all of that stuff. Get in the studio. You know, that's where you're more creative. You know, get in the studio. You know, let people like myself who's retired and got nothing else to do the talk shows and ask the question that people are scared to ask. But if you're
Right.
an artist, you know, go and create. Go and create. People see me this stuff all the time, DJ Haynes. They say, Kevin, what do you think? Because they know I'm gonna be honest with them. I try not to hurt
Right.
nobody's feelings, you know,
Right.
but you know, I just try to tell them. Then I'll let my wife listen to it. I let 3 or 4 of her friends listen to it, you know, and we'll give my opinion. Some stuff I
Right.
don't like, some stuff they might like, and tell them, yeah. But I just try to tell them the truth because I don't want nobody to have a false, you know, a false perception or on the false pretenses that they're doing good when you're really not, you know,
Right.
because a lot of times you think people laughing with you, they're really laughing at you, you know,
Right.
they're really laughing at you. So, but that's funny when I've never heard a DJ getting booed. I never heard that so far.
Yeah. He was having a bad night.
Yeah. So if something like that happened to you, I mean, what would you do? What would you do?
Woo.
Would you start singing a gospel song or what? Start playing gospel music or what?
I don't know. I might. Hey, you never know. I'd be trying to figure out what I could do. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I've been very lucky. I've like I said, I've been doing this for 18 years.
uh,
I've had some technical issues over the years to where I was sweating bullets, hoping I could get something figured out real quick.
mhm,
But as far as I can't, I can't recall ever doing an event where I didn't feel like I gave the audience what they either deserved or whatever the person paid for. I
mhm.
felt like I just feel like I've always done a good job at what I've done. So,
Yeah.
but I don't want to be on the other end of that. That's getting booed is not very fun.
I know that would be embarrassing, but some people need to be booed though. I mean, I'm just saying, hey, it builds character. Hell, you know, if you booed,
Right.
it just build character. It's make you get off the stage and go back to the drawing board and fix whatever you fix. You got a lot of DJs on here. A lot of DJs giving you a shout out.
Good, good. I appreciate it.
Let me see who's this. When we ran the DJ off. Oh yeah. My auntie had a private party in Mississippi, and the DJ was horrible. So everybody ran him off, man, and started playing the music, man. He quit. You know, they was like, "You got this song." He didn't have nothing. He have nothing.
Yeah.
He have
I,
nothing.
I have I recently heard about that in my area somewhere where finally they just told the guy to pack up his shit and go. Just go. You got to go.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but some of the stuff you're not gonna have, you know. But I'm like, damn. If I name off 10 songs that you don't have, I mean, come on now, you
Yeah.
know. So
And
so yeah, go
go
ahead.
no, go ahead. No, and I saw somebody. I think I saw somebody post earlier about the online stuff. I think there's Tidal and some other stuff that you can DJ with, and that's
Mhm.
I'm not confident enough in wireless systems and networks and all that. I have a hard drive. Well, I have a hard drive that I have all my music on. If I don't have it, I might can jump out online and try to find it at a event.
Mhm.
I've done that very rarely, but occasionally. But typically, I try to stay so current that I have most everything. And
Yeah.
luckily, over the last 2 years, I haven't. The artists and promoters are sending more music to me directly, where I don't have
Mhm.
to go try to find it now, which is
Yeah.
great.
You ever heard of DJ Be Cool? He said DJ Haynes is the truth.
I have heard of DJ Be Cool.
Yeah, he said you the truth. You know, you got
Well,
you
I
got a lot of
appreciate that.
you got a lot of people coming, a lot of DJs on here saying you the
Well, I
truth.
appreciate that. Well, I'll tell you, I've been contacted by a lot of DJs over the last couple of years about
Yeah.
different things,
Mhm.
about sound on my live, how to get a better sound, and I've told everybody what I have, how to get it, and how much it is. I
Mm.
stayed an hour and a half with a guy one night trying to help him get his software lined up with
Okay,
pictures in the
school me.
background.
So if I want to be a DJ, how do I get better sound on the live? Like right now, how do I
All
do
right,
that?
there's things called digital. Now you put me on the point. It's a audio interface
Okay.
that you can buy. The Behringer makes them, and iRig too for phones. That you can buy them. There's a lot of different brands, but minimum of about $100. And
Mhm.
basically, whatever you're DJing from, a line that goes straight from that into whatever you're capturing, like your computer or your phone, and
Uh-huh.
it gets a direct audio where it's not like room sound bouncing off the walls and echoey, and it's only like $100.
Yeah.
And it'll take you from 1 to 100 in sound quality online.
Mm-hmm.
But and like I said, I've even with music, I've had people call me and say, "Hey, I heard you play this song the other night. Can you tell me what it is?" And if I can find it, I'll tell them what it is and I'll shoot it to them.
Yeah. That's good,
I
man.
like helping people, man,
Yeah.
because I've needed help in times too, and I had to
Mhm.
reach out to somebody.
Well, most people that's affiliated with the military, have that mindset where because we deal with all type of people. I had Korean friends, white, black, Asian. I had all type of friends that we all played together, played football together, swim together. So I just kind of keep that same mentality. Man. I don't keep that closed eye to just race. It's based upon, like you said, how you treat me and what's your attitude.
Right.
Period. So let me ask you a question now. You and Andy. Now I don't know if you and Andy the two non-African American DJs. Can you think of
Andy
any?
Chambers.
Yeah, can you think of anybody else? Because he's in London.
Um, Not that does it online. I mean,
Uh-huh.
there's a couple white DJs in my area that play Southern Soul a lot. But
Okay.
as far as having a footprint online, I'm not sure. Me and Andy might be the only two, but I'll represent the U.S. and he can represent the U.K.
Yeah,
But he does a
but,
great job.
but Andy
He
be
does a great
twerking though,
job.
man. Andy be twerking. You don't be twerking though.
I'm behind the thing.
matter of fact, you don't even do voiceovers or nothing. You don't even do that, do you?
2 steps in the slide. I don't know.
Yeah. So
What
most DJs say, hey, this so man, bring you this, blah blah blah. Talk over the damn music, but you can't even hear. You don't even do that, do you?
I that's not my thing. If you
Yeah.
want to do that, that's cool. I don't do it. I don't even like to talk a whole
Yeah.
lot when I DJ, but I will. I'll do what I need to do.
Now they get on that and say, Kid Capri, 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 Capri. What damn music playing? You trying to record it, stuff like
No, I
that.
know.
You don't do that.
Not too much.
So let me ask you a question. So, what advice would you have to a non-African American that want to come over here and DJ in Southern Soul?
Do
You,
your homework. Got to
you,
do your homework.
you-
Do your homework. You got to study. You got to find out who artists are and what the music is, and
uh-huh.
if it depends on where you're at, like over in Louisiana stuff, the Zydeco and stuff's real big.
Mhm.
I'm not real big into Zydeco, but I like it, and I've picked up on some of that stuff. But that's why I'm saying things are so regional. But you just got
Yeah.
to know, what audience you're going to try to attract, and try to figure out what they want to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just
And
go to school.
yeah. And now, what DJs would you recommend they study, or would you just say, okay, just figure it out? Would you recommend they study a certain DJ?
Well, I mean, I don't know, any of these
Yeah.
guys we mentioned are good to watch.
Yeah.
But you got to understand the equipment. You
Mm-hmm.
got to understand how to work it, and if something happens, how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something's not your audio's not working. Well, why is that? So I mean, you got to like with anything, you got to figure out how to do what you're doing and
Mm-hmm.
get better at it all the time.
Yeah. Now, do you believe in such thing as paying your dues?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I paid my dues coming
and
up. I mean, I would do
yeah.
little events for little or nothing, and you know. I don't know that I ever did any free stuff. I probably did some free stuff too coming up just to do some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, with anything, it just gets you better.
Yeah.
And then you can take it to the place where you want to go if you want to do that.
Mm-hmm. So you got 64,000 followers right now, right? In how many years?
Two, 2.5
So
since
how
so March of 2020, I had 300 followers,
okay.
and that's when I first went live on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So it just started.
Mm-hmm.
It just blew up.
So you
So it
did like
just kind of
32,000 a year.
about yeah.
Yeah. So what's your numbers looking like now after that? Are they still going up? Are they still rising?
I'm kind of yeah, a little bit. Like I'll get a little bump here and there, I guess, because I don't do a lot of post boost and things through Facebook. I probably should. I don't know how to
Yeah.
do all
I
that.
don't do that either.
Uh,
I ain't paying to boost nothing.
I've only done it a time or two, just try to figure out if it is anything that would work. But
Yeah.
I think by me going out of state, I just recently did a show in Louisville, Kentucky, and I go to Mississippi a good bit to do some shows. And I think every time I go out like that and I start advertising, I just ask people, hey, share my profile with people if you think people like Southern Soul. And I think you go over these peaks and valleys at certain times. You pick up a few here and there.
Do you think Southern Soul is structured?
I mean, there's structure to it. Yeah, it probably could be better structured. I mean,
How
because
so?
it's just a free for all out here. I mean, you got people making music, sending it to whatever DJ they know. There's no, unless they know some people to send it to, then it's kind of doesn't go anywhere. There's not like any, there's not any like organization to Southern Soul officially. It's just all kind of whatever. I think with some of these groups like the Urban Influencer and um, Daddy Be Nice and Tyrone Davis and a couple of these other people that are putting charts out helps, because it just helps with some of that exposure, and it gets things. At least where if you can get your music to these groups that you can maybe get it heard.
Yeah.
And then trying to meet up and link up with some promoters and things like that. Everybody just kind of doing their own things around. So I mean, I don't even know how. I mean, it can
Yeah,
get better, and it
because
can get.
I'm saying a lot of folks say those charts are biased and they're subjective.
Right.
So how do you feel about that?
And they might be, because
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really.
Yeah.
I'm helping. I just started helping with Urban Influencer just to submit some songs. I've been happy to see some submissions to make it to the chart.
Yeah.
So at least somebody's listening over there at what or is being submitted, if they find it worthy enough to get it on the chart.
So
So
you don't
I
personally
mean,
know, you don't personally know the artist. You just know the music on what you hear, and that's what you submit.
that's right. I mean, I know some of the artists.
I'm just saying
Not,
on a personal enough just to say, hey, I'm gonna hook you up, even though your music is trash. I'm gonna send it over here. Or do you say, yeah, I know so and so. I listen to the music. I think it's worthy enough to be on this chart, right?
yeah. I mean, I send what I would stand behind.
Yeah.
If it's not a quality track, then I'm probably not going to forward it.
Oh, okay. Now, do you have a relationship with any producers?
I mean, email wise, I probably emailed back and forth with D Ford. Met Slack. I met Slack down at
Yeah.
ZBT last year. What a great guy he is.
Yeah.
Ron G down in Mobile. I've met him a time or two.
Mm.
But I really don't have like
Yeah.
close relationships with any of them.
Yeah. Tucker said he don't be on none of your charts.
That's because he won't do a show drop for me.
So he said you got to do a show drop. So let me.
I just need to say he just needs to do a 30-second show drop for me. But hey, I play his music all the time. I look right here, my top 5: Till the Sun Comes Up, Big Train, Pretty Girl with J1. He's got this new one, the Jukebox remix out.
Man,
Jukebox Lover remix.
Man, forget Tucker. He don't run nothing. But let me ask you this question right here. So when you went to the award ceremony, you had the experience of meeting people. How was that for you?
Oh, it was great.
Some people even know who you were, right?
Yeah. Surprisingly.
Look, I'm not talking about the groupies that follow you around. I'm talking about the artists and the DJs. When you walked up,
I met for the first time like Karen Wolf and Theotis Ely and Slack and some people like that. And it was great. It was Rico Kaysen was out. Rico was there. And I met Rico and a lot of, and it was nice because to be recognized and say, hey, we watch your show and we appreciate what you do. And that's the whole thing. To be recognized for doing something that's positive, and that maybe making a difference.
But see, Tucker ain't gonna tell nobody. When he first met me, he came up and hugged me. He said, he said, "Hey, Kevin, I'm Tucker. I'm Tucker Johnson, man. I know who you are, man. Get out of my face, man."
All right.
Look, he said, "But there you go, Kevin." He said, "I'll be hating on here."
I know, right?
But look, so Slack, man, I'm telling you, Slack is a historian. Have you ever talked to Slack?
No, I met him out there, and I've occasionally there'll be a song I think that they're involved in, and I'll try to get it from him. So I've had some email conversations back and forth.
Yeah, he's a historian, man. He's a guy. Slack been in this music business, man, for over 40 years, man, And I always call him and ask him because I know he's gonna be honest, you know. I call Omar, but you know, I call Slack, you know, because me and Slack talk more. And Slack, he's just an honest guy, man. So do you have a DJ? You have a mentor? You have a mentor?
No, I've sort of self-taught myself to do whatever I do. I started out, didn't even have a controller. I was using something called Winamp back in the day. It was a free software. It would fade into the
Mm,
next song. And then I played around with virtual DJ without a controller. And then
mm,
finally I realized that my job could be a lot easier if I learned how to use a controller and to mix and stuff. So I
mm.
sort of didn't really have anybody. I just kind of self-taught myself.
Would you accept a mentor now if somebody wanted to mentor you, or would
Oh,
you mentor, or would you mentor someone?
yeah, absolutely.
What,
I tell
you gonna
that.
mentor me, man? I'm gonna go buy my stuff, man.
Well, I'll come over and we'll you'll be ready to go in a couple hours.
All it takes is a couple of hours.
Yep, because you'll either have it or not. And I'm like, no, you need to sell that equipment, or
You were like, no, Kevin, you ain't what's happening, man.
I hope you rent to own this stuff because you can take it back.
Wow.
No,
So as far as the music, so if artists don't send you their music, how do you get their music? Do you pay for their music?
um, no, I haven't paid for any music.
Uh-huh.
I hope that they would send it to me if like they do everybody else.
Yeah.
I have reached out. If I hear something somewhere that I don't have, I'll reach out to the artist or maybe the promoter that knows them to try to figure out how to get it from them.
Mhm.
But like I said, over the last 2 years, it's been a lot better because I've broken the circle a little bit, and I'm feel like I'm in the circle.
Mhm.
Whereas 3 years ago, when I was doing shows like before COVID, I'd have to rely on my buddies in Montgomery, my fellow DJs that were close with some of the radio stations that played Southern Soul, Big
Mhm.
KD, Roscoe Miller, that station, to say, hey, can you get me a CD that's got the top 25 or 30 new songs on it?
Oh, okay.
Because if you don't know how to get it, it's very hard. I've had people all the time ask me, "Hey, what record pool are you in to get all this music?" Well, there's not a record pool for Southern
Yeah.
Soul.
Are you part of the Fleet DJs? You're not part of Fleet DJs, right?
I'm it.
Okay.
I'm a team of one.
So let me ask you this
And
question
that's
here. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that, and I don't know really much about those groups, but I mean,
Uh,
there's nothing wrong with being involved in those. It's probably very advantageous to have a big group like that to help
yeah.
promote and cover shows and things like that.
Now, is this true or false? I heard that when artists come on your live, you tend to play their music since they're on your live. Is that true?
Yes. One thing I started doing was, if and it's hard to keep up with. Try to keep up with who comes in when, so I can keep it in order. But if I see an artist come in there, I try to get their song on next. So while they're, because I know they bounce around from
Yeah.
DJ to DJ, but
Hmm.
while they're in there, if I can play their song, then I give them a chance to interact with the audience and the fans that tell them, hey, I love this song, or when you come in my area, or I saw you last week somewhere, and they
Hmm.
can get, and that's in any kind of entertainment business. If you can create that kind of relationship where you're on the level with the people that like you and watch you, then
Hmm.
I think that's big. So that was just something I tried to do,
Hmm.
and I think a lot of them caught on to that real quick, because
Hmm.
there's some nights I might have 20 or 30 artists come through a 3 hour show or a 2 hour show to pop in for a little bit, and I know they bounce around to the other guys like they should.
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna take a 1 minute break. I'm gonna run a commercial right quick. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back.
World. Oh,
Uh-huh.
what type of word? Listen,
Uh,
listen, yo.
yeah.
Lacey is Lacey. Let me
Uh-huh.
tell you.
That
Let me
is
tell you
true.
something.
Who's a bad person, but
When
that
you coming up against Lacey, you better be bringing it, baby. Let me tell you. Let
That'll
me
be.
tell
Hey,
you.
look, lie. So would you battle Tucker and battle the band?
I have fireworks and every motherfucking thing going
That's
on.
all you're gonna have a firework. Shit.
I have everything on
Hey,
this.
hey,
When
hey.
I get through whatever, I ain't saying I'm belling Tucker. Don't even go call and all that.
You
No,
say you be
Listen,
ready. You be ready.
now
listen.
it's on. I know
Listen, you got to learn how to stay in your lane.
everything.
You got to learn how to stay in your
I'm
lane.
confident in
Lie. I'll battle you. I'll battle your
Oh
ass.
shit!
I'm
She gonna be
gonna
about
tell
you.
you. Stay in your lane. That's all I'm
Hey,
gonna tell you.
hey, lie.
Stay in your lane.
I'll battle you before I battle Lacey. Shit, you
Stay
gotta
in
get
your
past
lane,
me,
man.
nigga. Reality world. Oh,
Uh-huh.
what type of word? Listen,
Uh,
listen.
All right, I'm back.
Yep.
I ain't gonna take my bathroom break. I've been drinking this thing. but look, that's what I take the funny clips from all my shows and I put them on and let the people see it. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take a funny clip from this right here.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Especially if I want to ask you what you twerk.
2 steps and a slide. That's it.
Yeah, man.
I'm,
So
I'm
look,
trying to learn. I'm trying to learn how to flex right now. Do the
you got to
flex.
flex. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you work out, man?
No.
You don't work
The
out?
weekends will work out for me, moving all this stuff around and in and
Yeah.
out. Because
Mhm.
sometimes these speakers weigh 200 pounds, and sometimes I got to get them to on a 3 foot stage by myself.
That's why you need
So
to hire somebody, man.
I'm too cheap. I'm not gonna pay. I
Man,
work too hard for
you got a full-time job and you getting paid. You do how many shows a year you do? 100?
65
Man, you doing
probably.
65. If you get paid $1 a show, man, you paid.
Hey, I'm too cheap. I can't say that one day I won't hire somebody to help me, but not today.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's good, man. So you know I always ask everybody, man, you got to give me your top 5, male and female. You got to give me that as far as your artist. And then look, then you have to give me as a DJ, you got to give me not in no particular order, but you got to give me at least 5 DJs that that you stand behind or that you would recommend to do a show.
All right, so
Okay.
top 5, you got uh the King. Sir Charles Jones is probably, he's been around a long time. Willie
Uh,
Clayton, Calvin Richardson, some guy named Tucker James.
hell no.
He's pretty good. Um, and that's what 4. And then
Yeah.
you got. I like Jay Hammer. I get a lot of requests for Jay Hammer. He's a party guy. They love his
Jay
music.
Hammer, yeah. Yeah, he's a
Um,
good guy too, man.
so
I give you
female.
10. I give you 10. Go ahead. I know you want to
All
name some
right.
more. I give you 10.
Lomax Spalding, Opie
Okay.
Buchanan, Kenny Wayne. Kenny Wayne's been around a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
Got good
Kenny Wayne be
music.
jamming.
Jay Wan,
Uh-huh.
Jeff Floyd.
Yeah.
I mean, I could keep going. Jeter. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
L.J. Eccles. You keep Big Yayo.
Okay.
I mean, you could just keep going
Yeah.
down the list.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of good artists out here
Mm.
right now.
Give me them
Um,
queens, man.
so female, you got Karen, you got Nellie Travis, Lacey, West Love. Dee Dee Simon's doing her thing right now. Cammie Cole down there, and she's in Louisiana. Toya Jones in Montgomery is
Oh yeah. Yeah.
she's
Toy be
good.
jamming. Yeah.
Miss Stephanie Pickett that I mentioned earlier, been in the game
Uh-huh.
about 25 years. She
Okay.
got some good. I want to see her step up a little bit. There's a new artist, Melanie, that's really good right now.
Uh-huh.
You got Jason A.
Melanie Chanel, that's her name, Chanel, right?
Who? Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Pressure, and then she's got Rolling Rock, I
Mhm.
think. And anyway, a lot of good artists. And okay, DJs.
Yeah.
So a lot of these DJs I just know online. Now
Okay.
I got some cats around my area that I know, but you know, TC and Big O, man, he grinds like me. Big O is
Yeah. He be
everywhere.
jamming. His big old self. He be
Yeah.
trying to dance. He be twerking too.
The guys up in Statesville, Georgia, Dream Team,
Yeah.
you got those guys are good. Um, and I got to give truckers
Yeah.
props, man.
Uh-huh. He's a good
Truckers
DJ.
out there,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
grinds, and he's getting into a little bit of everything. He's bringing equipment, big time show equipment. He's promoting, and and I do give him credit for being the trendsetter, basically.
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago when he broke out and started doing his online stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
mentioned Omar Cunningham. Yeah, I just had lunch with Omar. I sometimes so close to him I forget about Omar.
Yeah.
Omar's a great entertainer as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good, man. But look, I appreciate you coming on, brother. I really do, man. And like I said, look, you can come back anytime. You don't have to interview just one time. You come back anytime. Now, if you want to keep on talking, we can keep talking unless you got something to do.
No, man, I got to go get me something to eat.
Okay.
It's
So,
8:30. I'll
8:30?
go up here and get me something to eat. I'm in Clarksville, Tennessee, so I don't know
Gotcha.
what time they roll up the carpet around
You
here.
know what time they close right now?
But hey,
Yeah.
I wanted to say this earlier and I
Yeah.
forgot. So please, y'all, let's pray for everybody in Florida right now with this hurricane coming through, and it's going
Yeah.
to go up across Florida and go up the East Coast. Say some prayers for those people. We certainly don't want to hear any bad news about that. But I appreciate you having me on. It is a pleasure, and maybe somebody learned something about me they didn't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
that'd be
learned you was
cool.
white.
Hey, if they didn't know, now they know, right? But
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
man.
but
Hey,
I appreciate all the fans that came in tonight and the listeners and the people I don't know. I appreciate them. And just if I'm out and about and you're where I'm at, man, let me know. We'll have lunch sometimes.
oh yeah, yeah. Now you down there. What part of Alabama you in?
I live right outside of Montgomery.
Okay, all right. I think I'm gonna come down. Well, it's a couple shows going on. I get down there, but I'm gonna make it a point just to meet you face to face.
But yeah,
If
please
you're in
do that.
town, yeah.
But
If
hey,
you're
the
in
thing
town,
about it is during the
yeah,
week, I'm either in the Nashville market,
yeah.
somewhere in Alabama, or I'm in the Panhandle over to Tallahassee's. But
Gotcha.
you know, I try to. I have lunch and dinner with lots of people around that follow the show and stuff, and
You
that's
eat
the biggest
you
thing.
eat soul food?
Oh, of course.
You eat chitlins?
No, I don't think I'm gonna eat a chitlin, but
I
I'll eat
don't
some
eat no chitlins.
greens. I'll eat some greens. Yeah.
I don't eat no chitlins either, man. Yeah, my wife eat that. No, I don't eat no chitlins, bro. I mean, I don't care what nobody talking about. I ain't eat no
Right.
damn chitlins. They can forget it. I ain't eating that. No, bro. Matter of fact, when Tucker called himself a chef. He called himself he can cook. So when they come up here December the 17th, he said he gonna come and cook. I'm like, okay, we're gonna see. Cause he think because he's from Louisiana. I don't eat crawfish. I don't eat that.
Right.
That what's that stuff called? That seafood boil. I don't eat that. No,
Right.
my wife eat that, but I don't eat that. But he claimed he can cook. So I said, we're gonna see. I'm gonna get some of them damn tomahawk steaks and
There you
stuff like
go.
that. Yeah, because I have Charles and all of them will be in the area. So they'll come by, Calvin Rich and all them. So we're gonna see. He talking all that junk. We're gonna really see if he can cook.
Well, I got you, man. Well, again, I enjoyed being on with you tonight, and much success to you. Keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully we'll cross paths soon.
Oh yeah, yeah. And look, and these videos go on YouTube. So if you want to rewatch, I'm gonna take it off my page tonight, but I'm gonna put it on YouTube. So my YouTube page is KL Young Production. So if you want to watch this interview,
okay,
you can go to YouTube. But what I do after every interview is I watch it. I look at all the comments. So if the comments are unprofessional, I remove them anyway. If somebody say, because I can't see it because they go so fast, but I don't let it go on my YouTube channel. All this crazy comments. So if it's professional. If it's a professional question, I'll leave it. But if it's some far-fetched, I take it off. But it'll be up. It'll be up on YouTube within the next 3 hours. It'll be up on YouTube. But I appreciate you coming, brother. I appreciate. Hey, be safe on that road, man. And look, you was born in 1970. I know you was born in 1970 during that time, right?
I was 10 in 1970.
Exactly. So you know what this means right here, right?
That's it.
Everybody. I'll see you later, brother. You take care.
Hey, thanks, Kevin.
All right, now. Tune in next week, DJ Cowboy. See y'all later. Thanks for watching.
Hey, it's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Everybody, all right.